Now again, I forgot my pepper spray, so if a bear comes, I'm around the zoo here, so if a bear comes, I was thinking like, I'm just gonna jump into the zoo, because there's a higher chance that the bear will eat me outside than some zebra inside, or God knows in what fence. Depends what fence I'm jumping, right? So, speaking about fear, I'm not gonna imagine it, okay? I live in the present. So bye now, take care. I think I had too much wine. I think I had too much wine last night. So I can't remember the second thing. Okay. Ego, what is ego? This ego guy that people usually blame when they don't want to assume responsibility for. It's just a false identity that you created that is not the true self of who you really are. But the secret is to embrace your doubts, right? Embrace your insecurities. So first thing, if you want to fix anything about yourself, is to actually accept it, right? Accept it for what it is. See, if you're imagining something that not just it didn't happen, but it may never happen, should we call you sane or insane? It's insane, right? That the only true fulfillment can come from enjoying the simple things in life and learning to be, to live in gratitude. Anger is not something like one day I was walking peacefully down the street and all of a sudden anger hit me in my head and I became angry, right? Living for more possessions in your life will always leave you empty, right? Because having more possessions will not bring more fulfillment. Quite the contrary, it's like trying to fill a bottomless pit, so it will leave you empty. So hello, Monica here. Happy New Year. Long time no see, I know. What to do? I have a busy life. So I want to talk about 5 things that make you mentally weak. Now, you like my hat? Merry Christmas. So the first thing I want to talk about is attachment and craving. Because having more possessions, it's like trying to hold on to the sand in your hand. It just falls off through your fingers. It just ain't gonna make you happy. So how to have fewer cravings and attachments in your life is to understand that it ain't gonna make you happy. And that the only true fulfillment can come from enjoying the simple things in life and learning to be, to live in gratitude. So that is what you should do if you feel the need to acquire more possessions in your life and you feel you are creating unconscious attachments. So that's the first thing. Now, the second thing that makes you mentally weak is, I think I had too much wine. I think I had too much wine last night. So I can't remember the second thing. Okay. Anger. So now you must understand that anger is not something like one day I was walking peacefully down the street and all of a sudden anger hit me in my head and I became angry, right? So that's not how anger works. It is something that you become because you unconsciously get triggered by something or someone and then you get angry. So this is really, it's really poisoning your soul, being angry. Now, how not to be angry? Well, you must see whenever you get angry, why did you get angry? And accept that it's something that you did unconsciously, right? What triggered you to become angry? And the minute that you assume responsibility for it, right? Because it will go away. Because usually now if someone does something and I get angry, I blame that person, right? That's how the mentality is. And that's why you get angry. But if you see that the problem is with you and whatever that person did, I'm not questioning the morality of it or whether it's right or wrong, but whatever that person did has nothing to do with that was the best that they could do, and you getting angry about it is not about them but about your reaction to it. So if you want to be angry less of the time, this is the way to do it, right? Look at yourself, because everything that triggers you and other people, actually, it's a mirror. It's like looking at yourself in a mirror. You have the limitation also because if you wouldn't have it, it wouldn't bother you what other people are doing. You would never get angry unless it's there within you, right? So look at yourself. That is the secret to not be angry. Okay, third thing that makes you mentally weak is fear. Now, fear, just like anger, is not something that just pops out from somewhere, right, and hits you. Right? So what causes fear? Well, what is fear? Fear means that you are imagining something that may or may not happen in the future, and you are creating certain expectations about it. So basically, you are fearing something that not only didn't happen yet, but there's actually a pretty decent chance that it never will. Right? Unless you're foreseeing the future, most of the things that you imagine are going to happen, actually, there's a very, very slight chance that it will happen because it's just in your imagination. So if you're imagining something that not just it didn't happen, but it may never happen, should we call you sane or insane? It's insane, right? So fear it's an illusion, right? So how to not be fearful about the future? Well, if you root yourself in the present moment and you live in the present moment and, you let the future happen and you live in the present moment with the confidence that whatever the future will bring, you will handle it to the best of your ability. Because anyway, in life, what you can do, you will do, and what you cannot do, anyway, you will not do. Right? So why do you worry so much about what the future brings? Yes? Okay, so this was the third thing. Now let's talk about doubt. So doubt is again something that you create. When do you create doubt? When you are criticizing yourself or you feel insecure, like you feel you are not good enough, right? You have certain insecurities and defects about yourself that they cause doubt within you. So that again is, it's a shame to live like that, to live in doubt. So how to not have insecurities, right, and not criticize yourself, because we all have them, we all have defects that we don't want to have. But the secret is to embrace your doubts, right? Embrace your insecurities. So first thing, if you want to fix anything about yourself, is to actually accept it, right? Accept it for what it is. See that, okay, I have this defect or this insecurity, and maybe I'm ashamed of it, right? Or I'm criticizing myself for this. But if you first see it for what it is, and if you first accept it within you, only then you can create a platform on which you can change it and become a better person tomorrow. So embrace yourself, embrace your defects, embrace your insecurities, and then whenever you will have insecurities or doubts about yourself, it will not be something negative, but you will look at it from the perspective of, okay, I have this issue and I want to fix it. So how to do better, right? It will put you in a constructive mode of changing for the better, not just going in a downward spiral, self-criticizing yourself, which won't help anybody with anything, right? And it won't help you change. So that's what I wanted to say about doubt. And the last thing that makes you mentally weak, I would say, is ignorance, right? Being ignorant and egocentric. So ego, what is ego? This ego guy that people usually blame when they don't want to assume responsibility for. It's just a false identity that you created that is not the true self of who you really are, right? And that's where the term egocentrism comes from. Like, you think you're more important than you think certain things are, you deserve more, you should be more important, like you're the center of this universe. And this being like this makes you ignorant of the world, right? Makes you ignorant of the impermanence of things, makes you think like you're here forever, like you're immortal. And that's going to inevitably bring suffering in your life, right? So how to be less egocentrical and less ignorant of the world is to connect more with the world, to be more in union with it. Now, how to practically do that? You can do it through meditation. That's how I do it, and it's the best way to do it. You're right, yoga, meditation. I will leave some links in the description box. But if that's not something that you do on a daily basis, more simple things would be like spend more time in nature, connect with nature, you know, spend more time with animals, maybe go to the zoo, or maybe you have some pets at home, or maybe you could feed some dogs on the street, or maybe save some dogs and take them to a shelter, right? So do things that are not about you. Maybe feed a beggar on the street, or I'm not saying to give money to everybody around our food, but to do this, it's, to help people in need. Help a stranger. If you don't want to feed a beggar, fine. Help a stranger. Or, hey, help a friend with whatever they need. Something that is not about you. So something that puts you in touch with the true nature of your existence so that you cannot make it so much about you. Because only then you can be in a state that's not ignorance or egocentrism. So that's what I had for you today. Let's recap the 5 things that make you mentally weak. So first, there's the attachments and possessions. Remember that the more you have, actually, just because you have more possessions in life doesn't mean you're going to be happier. So drop those expectations about having more and instead try to be more, right? Be more humble, be more grateful with what you already have, and learn to enjoy the simple things in life. Secondly, we have ignorance and egocentrism, which means you think like you're the center of the universe and you're more important than the creator itself. That is not a good mentality. How to be less ignorant is to be more in tune with the creation. Help someone in need, help a friend, make it less about yourself. Then we have the anger, right? We have anger and fear. Remember, these are not things that you create. These are not things that hit you on the street. It's something that you create within yourself. Don't be angry. How not to be angry. See what triggers you and assume responsibility for it. And remember that fear is about imagining the future. You have no business imagining the future. You should live in the present moment. What the future will bring, you will handle to the best of your ability. And last but not least, then let's not forget about doubt. Embrace your insecurities and your doubts, because that way you can create a positive platform on which you can change yourself for the better without being ashamed of your defects. So accept them first and then change them. So yeah, I would say these are the things that make you weak, especially mentally. So if you take care of these 5 things, let's make a resolution for the new year. So check within yourself which of these 5 things are you practicing. Pretty much I'm certain that in a certain regard, at least to a certain extent, we're all practicing a little bit of each. But let's try to analyze it within ourselves and create a better self for tomorrow. So I wish you a happy new 2024, it would seem. And yeah, let's be better people for tomorrow, yeah? Bye. Take care.